Hi, I'm Johnny B, and welcome to McKinney ISD Sports Talk as we take a look at Week 3 of the 2014 football season. This week, McKinney and McKinney North have a bye. The McKinney Boyd Broncos will play, and our special guest is McKinney Boyd Bronco head football coach Don Drake. And Don, as we look back on Friday, before we even talk X's and O's, what an electric atmosphere at Ron Poe Stadium. I mean, people were lining up for tickets. At 4 o'clock, there wasn't a seat to be found, and a great tribute that you did before the game to cancer survivors and cancer patients.
Yeah, it was really a special night. You know, that's the kind of Friday night that you want every Friday. You know, it's a great crowd. Everybody was excited. There was a lot of electricity in the atmosphere Friday night, and so it was an awesome setting for a great night of football.
Two-time defending state champion Allen Eagles come to town, and yeah, it was an electric game, and you really wanted to slow that high-powered offense down, and really in the first quarter, you did exactly that.
Yeah, we felt like you know, it was important for us to control the clock, and I thought we did a great job of that in the first quarter. I think at the end of the first quarter, they had snapped it 3 times offensively and had 1 yard of offensive output. So we really felt like we had a great plan going into the ball game, and we were doing a pretty good job of executing that plan in the first quarter.
You always tell your special teams players, special teams are called special teams for a reason. They can play a big part in a ball game like that. And of course, one of the things that Allen did was get that kickoff return.
Yeah, and I really thought that was a momentum changer, no doubt. You know, we had just scored to take the lead 7-0. I think there was about 20 seconds to go in the first quarter, and so at that point we felt really good about where we were and what we were doing and executing our game plan. And that kickoff return for the touchdown really deflated, I think, that energy that we had, the momentum that we had at that point.
When you take a look at the stats, I mean, total yards, Allen 496, Boyd 444. When you take a look at first downs, you actually had more first downs, 29-23. So the game, when people will look at that score and say 30-point loss, it was far more competitive than that.
Well, and I felt like we had some great opportunities in the second quarter. We had the ball in great field position. The game was tied at 7-all, and we had the ball at their 12-yard line, and we had a penalty situation that backed us up, and we missed a field goal that would have given us a lead at 10-7. They went back and scored and missed the extra point, so now it's 13-7. We drive back down there and got back into the red zone with another scoring opportunity, but again didn't come away with any points. So, you know, I felt like overall offensively we played really a pretty good ball game. I mean, we did some great things through the air and also on the ground, but you've got to take advantage of those scoring opportunities when you have them, like we did in the second quarter, to really be able to keep the pressure on them to have to go produce, and also to allow us the opportunity to continue to work that plan that we were doing with eating the clock and all those things like we did in the first quarter.
For those of you who could not get a ticket, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the Boyd-Allen game, one of the spotlight games around the area. Here you got the ball, and boy, your quarterback handling stuff. Grant with a great game, 23 of 38 for 283 and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I was really pleased with the job that Grant did Friday night. I thought he threw the ball exceptionally well. We got some great play out of multiple receivers, and really showed, I think, that we're a two-dimensional offense. I mean, we're more than just hand the ball to Dedrick like we were the week before against Coppell. We have some weapons, and we can do things through the air as well.
Here you're on defense, and you know, you're playing one of the most potent offenses, and some great defensive plays there.
We did. You know, it was a great first possession for us defensively there. They were 3 and out. We got the ball back, and we were able to put a great drive together. I think our first scoring drive was about 13 plays, and we consumed quite a bit of the clock while we went down the field and did it. So, you know, again, that was working the plan that we had coming into the ball game. You see a great run here by Dedrick on our first scoring drive that we had there in the first quarter.
Dedrick, 31 carries for 157 yards. He was over 100 yards in the first half, and you get on the board with a great pass to him in the corner.
Yeah, it was great execution there in that red zone play that we've been working, and so I was really proud of that. Jeremiah Campbell doing a great job there catching the football. He had some fantastic catches on Friday night, as well as some of the other receivers that we had.
Everybody knows you got a great running back in Dedrick Scrivens, and you're going to pound that ball when you get the opportunity. And as defensive coordinators load that box, how beneficial is it that Grant is showing that he can throw the football? He throws a great ball. Here he is making a good run. That's only going to open up your offense even more.
Oh, I think so. You know, and that was one of the things we knew coming into the ball game, that they would challenge us on the outside with our receiving core, and we had to be able to go make some plays through the air, which we were able to do.
What did you say to the kids after the game? I mean, I know it was a tough loss, but as you see through these highlights, You proved that you can play with just about anybody.
Well, again, I thought we did a lot of really good things. I think that there's some things that we didn't do well, and we talk about best in our best all the time with our kids, and that means going back and looking at that film and picking out the things you did a great job of and continuing to improve in those areas. But also you've got to find those areas that you've got to improve, the mental mistakes that you made. Obviously the kickoff return, we talked about that already. That's a big thing in a game like this. You can't afford to give away points right there. So we've got to go back to work, but the kids are okay. They'll bounce back.
And that's exactly why you play that tough non-district schedule to get ready when Allen comes to town. As you talk about, it's preparation. It's not like you haven't seen a good football game before week 3.
No, we've seen some great quality competition, and we feel like that's important. That's why we do that, to get us prepared for opponents such as this and other opponents that we're about to see through the rest of district play.
You got to go on the road this week to Flower Mound. What do you see from them on both sides of the football?
Well, they're hungry for a win in district as well. They had a tough loss to Plano East this past week. It was a close game. It ended 27-24. We have to go to their place to play, and we're both battling for that first district win. There's a great catch by Stephen Dursko in the end zone there. He had another one later in the ball game that was fantastic. But we've got to go to work this week and get prepared for Flower Mound. They're a very explosive offense themselves. They like to put the ball in the air quite a bit. And we've got to do a good job, obviously, defending that, but we've got to go put the ball in the end zone, and we've got to not have those possessions down there with scoring opportunities where we don't come away with points. Great catch by Jacob Cantrell.
Are you happy with Grant's development? I mean, he seems very comfortable leading this offense.
Oh, I'm very excited about it. I know Grant's a very smart football player. He throws a great ball. One of the things that I've been pleasantly surprised with is some of the plays that he's making with his feet, and I'm very, very excited about him, his calm demeanor, as you can see on film. He was under duress several times the other night, but he never got rattled. He did take some shots, but he got back up off the ground and went and played the next down, and it was exciting to watch him perform the way he did on Friday.
That was a great observation. I was down on the sidelines for our KLAK broadcast, and one of the things about your team, and you and I were talking briefly, they have amnesia. They don't seem to, get rattled if something goes wrong. If something goes right, it's like, that's the way we want it. We've got a next play. Very calm demeanor from this football team.
Well, we talk a lot about being in the moment, and I can't do anything about the moments that have already passed, right? There's nothing I can do now that's going to change those. So we've got to focus on the next play. We've got to focus on the next moment that's about to occur. And as long as we can keep our kids engaged in what's about to happen, not what has happened, I think that's real important. And so far they've been able to do that. That's something we've got to continue to preach and continue to work on, but I've been real pleased with their ability to do that so far.
Coach, as always, thanks for your time. Good luck this Friday.
Thank you.
Don Drake, the head football coach of the McKinney Boyd Broncos. You're listening to McKinney ISD Sports Talk.